Hello and welcome to Conversations with Body and Mind with myself, Nirvana Lange. Body and Mind is your health and wellness online directory. Coming up in today's conversation, we will be chatting to Kay Salt, and she is from Chakra Natha, and she's going to tell us what that's all about, a holistic wellness practice. Good afternoon, Kay. So looking forward to hearing a little bit more about you, Kay. Why don't we start off with, who is Kay? What is your journey? How did you get onto doing this? What are those stepping stones that brought you into your life to decide that this is what you wanted to do?
Yes, well, my path to this calling was quite random, actually. It wasn't something that I ever really planned. I was adopted as a child and to a lovely family, but there was always the scars of that separation anxiety, that fear of abandonment. So throughout my young life, I found myself making terrible decisions, hanging out with the wrong people. So I found myself in many circumstances of abuse. And when I got married at the age of 25, my teacher, well, my husband's best friend's mom was a shaman. And she took me in and she said to me that I needed to come and answer the calling. So she gave me my first year of transpersonal psychology as a wedding present. And that was really the door that opened up this whole new world for me. So through her, I learned all about the chakra system and how that connected to my psychology. And I was really able to start taking back my life from there. So after studying with her in 2009, I then carried on with this type of study. And in 2014, I finished my studies with Catherine Lee Kruger. She runs her school here in Northcliffe in Johannesburg. So that's when I opened my healing practice for the first time. And that was in Benoni in the East Rand. So as my studies progressed, I stopped running the practice for a while I was really getting more into my studies. And I went into the shamanic way of healing. So that's the Native American Indian medicine people and the way that they do things. So I really enjoyed those studies, as well as the hands-on energy healing, which is quite similar to Reiki. So that really, every step of my path where I needed healing, I was given courses to study. And many of my courses were brought to me by other people. It wasn't something I went to look for. So it was really spirit putting these courses in my path to help me develop. And I'm very happy to say that I've come full circle to open my own school this year.
Wow, that's amazing. Yes, I know Catherine Lee Kruger. I worked for her a few years ago, like I can't even remember how long ago, when she was still here in
Wow.
Cape Town. And yeah, quite an incredible teacher. I mean, she used to teach here in
Yes.
Cape Town at many different courses, and wrote a book as well on
Yes.
healing, energy healing, and stuff like that. So amazing teacher for sure.
She
Uh,
really is.
uh,
Yes, I'm very blessed to be guided by her.
yeah.
So yes, the school that I'm opening is affiliated with her school up in Johannesburg.
That's fantastic. Well, please do say hi to her from me.
I definitely will.
Yeah. So, they say when the pupil is ready, the teacher will come. And it definitely seems that in your journey of your healing, it's very similar to my story, is really focusing on, fixing myself, because I was thinking that I needed to
Yes.
be fixed, that idea that, you're broken and you this and you that, until you realize that you're whole and complete, and everything else was just part of the
Exactly.
experience. But in that discovery is how you can then be, the teacher for those when you've come into that fullness of yourself. So tell
Yes,
us
exactly.
about your practice, Chakra Natha, the holistic wellness practice. I'm very connected to the Native Americans, so again, I feel quite a similarity with you. what is Chakra Natha? What does it stand for, and what do you have to offer?
Yes, so Chakra Natha means chakra master. So my practice is all dedicated towards assisting people with self-mastery. All of my sessions involve homework for people to do, because I feel that it is so important to integrate what we learn in these sessions so that we can stand on our own 2 feet instead of running to a healer every 2 minutes to fix it for us. So my sessions are quite intense. I do offer a different range of therapies, from hands-on energy healing to shamanic journey practices, which I love. The shamanic journey is very similar to hypnosis. So we go very deep into the subconscious mind, to different places, so we can unlock these secret doors into our inner worlds, to gain a much fuller understanding of who we are and what we are actually capable of.
So let me ask you before you carry on, Kay. So shamanic journey. So you take them through a process where they, obviously, as you say, like hypnosis, where they can go behind the conscious mind and into the subconscious mind and work.
Yes, that's correct. Yes, so the way that it works is some teachers and some healers use plant medicine. In my practice, I use the drums. So the drums and that repetitive beat of the drums helps to entrain your brain waves so that it's much easier to drop down into the subconscious mind. And the reason why I love this practice is because talking about trauma can be so difficult. I've been there myself, to talk about sexual abuse, and it's so difficult to get the words out. But in a practice like this, it's almost like dealing with that situation in a dream time. So you feel safer, you feel more protected, and these things can come to the surface without you having to speak the words again. So for me, that is a very powerful form of healing that I'm very blessed to be able to offer.
Wow. And then you also have the negative cord cutting, as we said, shamanic journeys, forgiveness therapy. Let's go a little bit more into what is, how do you go through the forgiveness therapy? Because I think that is one of the vital elements before we can start anything else, is to get to the
Most
forgiveness.
definitely. Oh, yes. And, people sometimes are of the opinion that you can only forgive if that person comes to you and asks your forgiveness. And for me, I see forgiveness as a far more empowering thing to go through, because that person doesn't even need to know that you have forgiven them for you to set yourself free. And this is especially coming from abusive relationships. Um, they break you down and they make you feel as though you don't deserve that. And the strongest thing you can do for yourself is to forgive that person. And I'm not saying forget what they did. I'm saying forgive that they weren't in their right mind to understand what they were doing to you at the time. And forgive the process, cut the cords and release them to a happy life. Because in doing that, we release ourselves to a happy life and we stop carrying around those burdens. So the forgiveness therapy we do as a journey as well. And then there's also homework, like I said, but this is to be done in private space at home, where you can vocalize all of those things that you want to let out. And then I guide you through the process of filling that vacuum back up with light and with healing.
Wow. So, I mean, I just looked at all the other things like your transpersonal counseling and all of that. You've got, there's a lot in the package where people can come and really find the wholeness in your holistic practice. And as well as you've got courses going. Tell me a little bit more
That's
about your
it.
courses.
That's correct. So from the middle of February, I'll be running the hands-on healing course that I did with Catherine all of those many years ago. So this course is really, it can be for beginners or for people who want to build onto their existing practice. It goes very well with Reiki and with different kinds of other therapies. So what we cover in this course is basic nutrition, we cover basic physiology, but then we go into the chakra system and we go into our etheric bodies and how to sense those bodies so that we can channel healing energy into another person's auric field. So these practices can be used on humans and on animals. And in the course, we also cover absent healing, which is healing that can be done over a distance. And that I really use very often on my family because we aren't living close by to one another. And it's quite a powerful session to go through, especially when you know how to prepare your own space to be sacred. And that's also something that I teach as well in my one-day workshops. So hopefully we'll be having another one-day workshop towards the middle of the year, but I will keep that posted on the website.
Wonderful. And what is your totem animal? I'm curious to know, what is your totem?
A huge big white mare. And I've always, since I was 3 years old, I've been riding horses. I love them. Those are my therapy and my healing on such a deep level. So the horses have always been a major part of my life. And even now, when I meditate and I go into my sacred spaces, or when I'm giving healing, my horses are there with me as well as guides.
Beautiful.
But I work with seven guides, sometimes 8 if there's extra healers that come in to help me.
Wonderful. Yeah, the horse is all about stamina, isn't it? You know, and being able to
Definitely,
carry
yes.
that. Yeah, mine is the crow. So the crow or the raven.
Oh,
Yes.
transmutation is in the house.
Yes.
That's fantastic. So transmutation not only for your own life into the light, but also for those around you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Excellent.
Well, I can see that you and I could probably chat for another hour, but let's get into where you are based and your contact details, how people can get hold of you, please.
Wonderful. Well, my physical practice is open in Hyde Park in Sandton. I'm based at Beechwood Gardens, very close to Hyde Park Shopping Centre. Then I also do online talks and courses, which are always posted on my Facebook page. And then I've also got a YouTube channel for Chakra Natha, and this is where you can find all of my guided meditations, and there will be a lot more coming on there this year. So yes, definitely all over Facebook and on the Body and Mind website, which you'll mention shortly, and on YouTube as well.
And on YouTube,
yes,
your Chakra Natha is your YouTube
Chakra
channel,
Natha.
and your Facebook page is also Chakra Natha.
That's the one.
Correct. And I just want to give the spelling for that. I've just lost my mouse again. Chakra Natha. So just for those who want to look that up, it's Chakra Natha is Natha, Chakra Natha. And you can find that on social media, YouTube. And then also you can go to the Body and Mind website, which is bodyandmind.coza. You can also look at our blog site and interact with Kay that way. It's bodyandmindblog.coza. And you can download the Body and Mind app on your Apple as well as on your Android phones, and also find her in the search bar there. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, ring that little bell, and get notifications, as well as share this to people that you think can gain benefit out of these conversations. Great. That's done, Kay. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, and I'll have this up hopefully by early next week.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed chatting and connecting, and I look forward to a whole lot more in the future.
Absolutely, Kay. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you, and you too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.